7, 6, 5, 4, 1 y dentro. Good evening and welcome to the Universidad Europea de Madrid. My name is Alan Palmer, Director of Admissions, and it is my pleasure to welcome each of you to our first open house event of the year. We are a private international university located 15 kilometers to the southwest of Madrid, Spain's city center, within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón. The goal of this virtual event is to shed light upon our university, introduce you to our distinguished professors, explain our degrees offered 100% in English, provide an overview of campus life and culture, detail the admissions process, and of course, answer any questions you may have. The 4 faculties within our university are the following: biomedical and health sciences, social sciences and communication, sport sciences, and lastly, STEAM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Please know that beyond this virtual event, we would be delighted to invite you to our campus in person for you to see up close our classrooms and state-of-the-art installations, like our simulated hospital, our television set and green screen, our wind tunnel, our simulated courtroom, semi-Olympic-sized swimming pools, beach volleyball court. The list goes on. Overall, we are a university characterized and driven by our emphasis of learning by doing. That is, a large portion of our degree's curriculum are spent outside of the traditional classroom, within our on-campus laboratories, workshops, simulation zones, as well as in real-life professional settings, be it Airbus's factory, a physical therapy clinic, a hospital, or a multinational company. Fortunately, we have signed agreements and built enduring relationships with a multitude of companies worldwide, where you as a student will get that practical experience working hand in hand with a reputable professional of your field. Be that an architect, an aeronautical engineer, a psychologist, a dentist, a CEO. Studying at the Universidad Europea is not just a place where you will attend classes, participate in internships, research, and obtain your degree. It is a platform for you to spring into the world with a more globalized, digitalized, and sustainable mentality. Here we foster a multicultural environment that prepares our students to face the many challenges the 21st century has presented us, from environmental sustainability to pandemics to intercultural dialogue. We thoroughly hope you find this event insightful and beneficial as you research the various options of where do I go to university. In the following short video, the rector of the Universidad Europea de Madrid, Elena Gazapo, will speak about our academic model.
Hola, mi nombre es Elena Gazapo, soy la rectora de la Universidad Europea de Madrid y quiero darte las gracias por estar con nosotros en nuestra jornada de puertas abiertas. Sabemos que estás en un momento muy importante de tu vida, Estás a punto de comenzar una nueva etapa, un futuro que comienza en la elección de universidad, ya sea para cursar una titulación de grado o un ciclo formativo de grado superior. La Universidad Europea está formada por una red de instituciones presentes en Madrid, Valencia, Canarias, Oporto y Lisboa, que comparten una visión única, la visión One University. Con más de 25 años de trayectoria, 25.000 alumnos y más de 80.000 egresados, proporcionamos a nuestros estudiantes una educación integral, formando líderes y profesionales preparados para dar respuesta a las necesidades de un mundo global, para aportar valor en sus profesiones y contribuir al progreso social, siempre desde un espíritu emprendedor y de compromiso ético. Nuestro compromiso con nuestros estudiantes se sustenta en un sólido modelo académico eminentemente práctico, que permite conocer la realidad profesional en un entorno global y multicultural donde más del 30% de los estudiantes son internacionales y con acuerdos de intercambios y prácticas en más de 70 países. En la Universidad Europea de Madrid contamos con una amplia oferta formativa en la gran mayoría de las áreas de conocimiento, con más de 200 grados, ciclos formativos de grado superior, posgrados y programas de la Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid Universidad Europea. Nuestra comunidad docente permanece en constante contacto con las profesiones para garantizar una formación a la vanguardia de las necesidades del mercado laboral, lo que se traduce en más de 6.000 acuerdos de colaboración con empresas y con elevadas tasas de empleabilidad cercanas al 90% y con rangos salariales un 40% por encima de la media de universidades privadas. Este contacto con las profesiones también se pone de manifiesto en nuestra oferta académica, en permanente actualización para responder a las necesidades profesionales en diferentes áreas como educación, ingeniería o comunicación, por nombrar algunas de ellas. Además, en los últimos meses ha quedado de manifiesto la importancia del cuidado de la salud como elemento clave para la sociedad. Por eso apoyamos el concepto One Health, una sola salud, una estrategia global que defiende que la salud humana y la salud animal son interdependientes y están vinculadas a los ecosistemas en los que coexisten. Lo concebimos y lo implementamos a través de una nueva propuesta formativa que incluye biomedicina, veterinaria y medio ambiente y sostenibilidad. En la Universidad Europea queremos acompañarte en tu viaje y lo hacemos a través de nuestro modelo académico de aprendizaje experiencial HighFlex, que tiene un enfoque eminentemente práctico que te permitirá adquirir los conocimientos, las competencias y valores adecuados para el desarrollo de tu futura profesión, así como afrontar los retos de la transformación social y digital. Un viaje de aprendizaje en el que contarás con las mejores instalaciones, equipo docente y tecnología para que aprendas haciendo, enfrentándote desde los primeros años de formación a situaciones simuladas y reales del día a día de las profesiones. Un modelo que te permitirá ganar horas de vuelo gracias a la última tecnología en laboratorios y entornos virtuales, contando siempre con la cercanía y la dedicación constante de tus profesores. ¿Quieres saber cómo es el día a día estudiando en la Universidad Europea? Tendrás a tu disposición un campus seguro, con magníficas instalaciones y laboratorios, como Industria 4.0, que cuenta con las principales tecnologías como Internet de las Cosas, ciberseguridad, sensores o Big Data, entre otros, para garantizar un aprendizaje basado en proyectos con el estado del arte de la cuarta revolución industrial. El Human Performance Research Lab, un espacio de última generación para el aprendizaje transdisciplinar sobre los beneficios y usos del ejercicio físico en la salud y en el rendimiento de las personas. O el hospital simulado, para que puedas practicar con las situaciones que viven los profesionales sanitarios, pero en un entorno seguro. El elevado número de profesores que siguen el ejercicio profesional, cuya enseñanza está directamente relacionada con su experiencia laboral, te garantizan una conexión con el mundo real desde el primer año. Además, contarás con aulas dotadas con la última tecnología y podrás hacer uso de diferentes herramientas digitales como entornos de simulación, gamificación, laboratorios virtuales y contenidos digitales de alto valor añadido. Todo ello accesible también fuera del horario de clase para maximizar tus horas de vuelo. Y todo esto en el entorno de nuestros campus seguros, en los que podrás participar en múltiples actividades y exprimir al máximo la vida universitaria. Toda nuestra comunidad universitaria te está esperando para acompañarte en este viaje donde la educación personalizada, el conocimiento humano y la tecnología más avanzada se dan la mano. Te dejo con los equipos de facultades y escuelas que te van a mostrar tu día a día desde las áreas de conocimiento.
I would now like to hand the reins over to our professors and heads of departments who have so kindly dedicated their time to speak passionately about our degrees taught 100% in English. We will have ample time for questions and answers following the presentations. So without further ado, I would like to present our first professor to speak this evening, Dr. Yolanda Frede, the head of our bachelor's degree in dentistry. Dr. Frede is here with us live on campus this evening. Dr. Frede, would you please make your way to the stage?
Well, good afternoon and welcome to this open house session. First of all, I'm going to summarize briefly the dentistry degree curriculum. The degree is divided into 5 years and has 300 ECTs. In the first year, there are basic science subjects such as anatomy. Also, there is one dental subject, introduction to the clinical practice. In the second year, there are medical pathology subjects such as semiology, but also more dental subjects such as basic periodontics. In the third year, there are mainly dental subjects such as pediatric dentistry or prosthodontics. Similarly, in the fourth year. And this year, students continue with dental subjects such as advanced periodontics, but also go to the clinic and carry out 300 clinical hours with real patients. In the last year, students continue to attend the clinic, performing 600 clinical hours with real patients. Also, in this year, students have the last subjects of the degree, such as special patients, and carry out the graduation project. As I said, from the fourth year, students go to the dental clinic and carry out 300 clinical hours in the fourth year and 600 clinical hours in the fifth year with real patients. We have 2 clinics in Madrid, and they are equipped with the latest technologies, have professors of great prestige, and pioneering clinical evaluation methodologies that allow a greater objectivity. To carry out practices on patients, it's important for international students to speak Spanish correctly, being necessary to have a B.2.2 level of Spanish in order to access to the clinical practices. Within the academic model previously explained, learning in a safe environment is crucial. For this reason, almost 10 years ago, the Advanced Simulation Project began in this university. Therefore, in order to reduce the gap in the learning process between the preclinical and the clinical practices, it was decided to implement the integration of traditional simulation, haptic simulation, and the simulated hospital throughout the students' curriculum. Therefore, in our degree, simulation is very important because we want our students to feel safe when they arrive at the clinic to work with patients. That's why students start with the simulation environment from the first year. The 3 simulation environments we work with are the traditional simulation room, the smart lab with haptic simulators, and the simulated hospital. In the traditional dental simulation laboratory, we work with phantoms in which artificial teeth are integrated. In addition, in this laboratory has characteristics of a dental clinic. It's equipped with couplings for the rotating instruments, aspiration systems, water and air syringes in order to acquire the manual skills and the ergonomic postures necessary for the future practice. In addition, the digital workflow has been introduced through the incorporation of 2 TEREC intraoral scanners, which allow digital impressions and prosthesis design, being a differentiating aspect with other universities in Spain. Students start working in the traditional dental simulation laboratory from the first year, for example, in the subject of introduction to the clinical practice. Then the second simulation environment we have is the smart lab with haptic simulators. With these simulators, we work in a virtual reality environment that allows students to have sensations as close as possible to reality, such as feeling the different hardness provided by each of the tissues that constitute the teeth, or hearing the characteristic sounds that would be produced during a real clinical practice. Therefore, all this allows students' learning and experience to be much more real. Students start working in the Smart Lab from the first year, also in the subject of Introduction to the Clinical Practice. Finally, the third simulation environment we have is the simulated hospital with real equipment and 4 advanced simulations rooms. The aim of this simulation environment is to strengthen the development of good clinical practices with a special emphasis on patient safety. In the simulated hospital, dentistry students develop different skills. For example, communication skills such as how to communicate with pediatric patients that come to the dental office, as well as with their parents, or the approach to different emergency situations that may arise in the dental office and how to act in those situations always from a safe environment. Students start working in the simulated hospital from the first year, for example, in the subject of psychology, and continue through all the courses of the degree until the final year.
Thank you so much, Dr. Frede. Next, we will hear from the head of our bachelor's degree in psychology, Dr. Sonia Martinez. Dr. Martinez is joining us this evening from her home. Dr. Martinez, how are you this evening?
Thank you so much. I'm doing very good. I hope you're doing very good as well. So I'm supposed to tell you a little bit about the degree in psychology, and I would like to start emphasizing one of the most important things for students usually that have to do with internships. They have the opportunity of doing throughout the degree. So we have more than 600 hours of internships in their 4 years while they are studying, and especially in the 3rd and 4th grade, we have students have the opportunity of doing clinical intervention with patients in really prestigious centers all around Madrid. Apart from that, we're strongly connected with the idea and the importance of doing research. So we also have a lot of teachers doing research on their own, and we have also 7 different research groups nowadays. So we have research groups on developmental psychology, health psychology, in the specific field of eating disorders, psychogerontology. So really interesting opportunities for students to be in contact with the research field. And apart from that, we have also, I would like also to tell you a little bit about how we do the implementation of our really interesting academic model in psychology. So on one side, we work with simulation, like my colleague previously said. And when it comes to psychology, what we do in simulation is quite interesting. So our students have the opportunity right from the first course in different subjects. Like, for example, in the first course, we have psychological assessment. In the second course, we have psychopathology or intervention techniques. We have different subjects in which students have the opportunity of practicing different therapeutic skills with actors, with what we call simulated patients, who are in reality actors and who are previously instructed by our teachers. So this is a really interesting thing that we have in our degree. Apart from the simulation, we also have interprofessional education. And so also in different subjects, we give our students the opportunity of working in multi-professional teams. They have the opportunity of doing assessment and intervention procedures, techniques, or they have that opportunity of doing assessment and intervention in teams of students from different health professions. So this is also something very useful when it comes to thinking of their future professional activity as health professionals. And apart from that, we also do something which students usually appreciate a lot. We also do objective and structured clinical examinations. What are those? So around our 3rd and 4th year in the course of psychology, in the degree of psychology, students are examined in a really objective and structured way by different teachers, by a lot of teachers from the department, regarding their communication skills and also their therapeutic skills. So we really want to make sure that all those skills that we hear about, like for example being assertive, being able to be empathetic with patients, to do active listening, so all of that is something that we assess either in the third and the fourth grade. And talking more specifically about the facilities that we have in psychology, so we have different laboratories when students have the opportunity of putting into practice their knowledge, the knowledge acquired in the lectures. So we have laboratories for basic subjects, like could be the case of biology, physiology, human anatomy. We also have the simulated room, so this the opportunity of going in the simulated hospital, like I was saying previously, which is something present for most of our subjects throughout the 4 years. We have also the presence or the opportunity of contacting with virtual reality in different subjects as well, especially virtual reality applied to or applied within different psychological therapies. And we have a psychological assistance center, which is something really interesting, since we have the opportunity of providing patients from outside the university with different psychological interventions, presential, online interventions. And this is also something really interesting for students. When they are studying the bachelor's degree, they don't have the opportunity of doing internship there, but they might have when studying the master's degree that we also offer later. And finally, I would also like to mention the prestigious teaching team. So we're called the European University of Madrid, and our department in psychology is quite European as well. So I'm Portuguese, and a lot of my colleagues are from different nationalities, and they come from different countries, not only from European countries, but also from countries outside Europe. And so we have an amazing team who combines with different teachers who combine their teaching activity with their professional activity in different fields of psychology. And most of them are doctors in psychology. Most of them are connected with research, like I was previously saying. And so this is something that I think is worth mentioning. Apart from that, and more specifically on the subjects that we have, so the other slide, the one we were previously seeing, we are a 4 years degree, or we have a 4 years degree in psychology. So as you can see, probably in the first year and part of the second year, we have different subjects of basic psychology, like can be the case of thought, language, memory, emotion, sensation, perception. So students learn different basic processes, psychological processes. And from the first course, and especially from the second course, we start specializing students in the field of health psychology, because in essence we have different subjects in the field of health psychology and clinical intervention. In total, our subjects correspond to 90 ECTS credits in health psychology, and this allowed students to later be able to do the master's degree in general healthcare psychology, which is the degree that kind of regulates the exercise of the clinical psychologist profession in Spain. Apart from that, something similar to what was previously said by my colleague in dentistry is that we expect students to do their internships in external centers of the university in the third grade and fourth grade. We expect them to do this in Spanish. So since the first year, we provide them with linguistic support in different subjects. So not only they have their teachers of psychology or from psychology teaching them specific content, but they also have the support of language teachers, helping them integrate the vocabulary and all the content in Spanish. This to help them be able to develop that required B2.2 level of Spanish for doing the internships in the 3rd and 4th grade, like I was saying. And what else did I wanted to say? Well, I cannot finish without saying just this, that last year we were, and I think that this is something that makes us very proud and very happy to share with you, which is in our last year, last year in May, we were recognized with the 1st place in an international ranking. So it's the CIMAGO institutions ranking. And we were recognized as the best private university in psychology in Spain. And so I think that this kind of is something important to us and also probably important to share with you. So I think that in general, this is what I wanted to share with you. If there's any question, we can see it by the end of this presentation, all of these presentations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Martins. Moving on to our Faculty of Sports Sciences, we will now hear from Dr. Jose Bonal, the head of our bachelor's degree in sports management and our bachelor's degree in physical activity and sports sciences. Dr. Bonal is also connecting this evening from the comfort of his home. Dr. Bonal, how are you this evening?
Hi, thank you, Alan. It is a pleasure to be with you guys, and I'll be happy to explain first the global sport management degree, and then afterwards I'll move on to the sports science, if that's okay. First, I would like to start basically telling a little bit about our main program. Since the global sport management degree, it is the only full academic bachelor program that it is offered at the moment in Spain. In comparison with other programs in Europe, also we do have some incredible extra value points that I would love to explain you just now. First, we can talk about our amazing faculty. We have a great faculty from wide backgrounds that cover not just academic experience, but also professional experiences as well. People who work in top companies such as La Liga, such as UEFA or other top institutions that really bring to the table not just academic and theoretical knowledge, but practical and day-to-day knowledge. All the academic knowledge, by the way, is not left apart. We do have a research group which is specialized into all different engagement aspects of the sport industry, and they actually provide opportunities for the students to collaborate. So for all those students who are interested in to participate on research, on case studies, they will have a chance to do that while they are enrolled in our global bachelor degree. Now, the second point I would like to highlight, it is that part of the 4th year, students will be able to enjoy a full academic year abroad. Therefore, they will also have the opportunity to do an internship abroad. Specifically, we're talking about the USA, our partner university over there in the East Coast. It is a great program and a great opportunity for all our students in Universidad Europea to develop themselves, to develop professionally and personally. That will be the 4th corporate experience from a list of another 3 in addition, 1 per each academic year. In the first year, we'll have a corporate experience in Madrid, where we will be able to visit all different entities and sport companies so that top executives from those entities and companies explain us how they work, how they operate, and what are the key aspects in their daily jobs. The second year, we will be able to do that in Barcelona. So still in a national level, but analyzing top European events and top European companies, such as Barcelona F1 event. For example, we also visit Barcelona FC, basketball. Overall, it is a multivariate and a multidisciplinary approach. Even in Spain, the king sport and the dominant sport is football. We always try to have a really broad approach, not just to football, of course, but to a few different sports as well. In the third year, we'll be going for this corporate experience to USA. Mostly, we have been in the past in New York City, but this will be open to other cities if it requires any kind of change. But definitely something amazing because we are able to see all the entertainment industry, not just the sport, but sport business and the sport entertainment. So another important fact for all our students in terms of the development. As I mentioned before, the fourth grade will be completely taught and developed in the USA. Pulling all this together and considering all the different variety of subjects we have in our course, I would say that we definitely have a very consistent and a very complete and fully integrated program where students that would like to ended up working in different fields of the sport industry for sure will be able to do so after all the different approaches from our faculty and from our modules. If that's okay, I would like to pass now to the sport and science bachelor degree. And of course, if you do have any sport management question, please feel free to do so at the Q&A questions, the Q&A session. Moving on to the sport, physical and activity bachelor degree, also a 4-year degree. And this one, it is also great because of their academic level. We do have different research groups which focus on health and elite performance. In fact, elite performance, it is one of the specializations you do in 4th year. Is very, very good in terms of biomechanics, in terms of physical and strength and condition. And doesn't matter what sport you like, one of the best things about the program is that you will be able to develop a great general overview and great knowledge in core models such as anatomy, biomechanics, physiology, nutrition, and then you will be able to specialize a bit more and go into depth on your faculty, on your specialty sport discipline in concrete. So therefore, I think that the Bachelor of Sport Activity in Sport Science is a really good program for those who are interested into strength and conditioning positions, into data analysis positions, sport analysis as well, everything that has to do with the latest innovations and how those affect to athletes and the game. We do have in our faculty great researchers, and as a consequence of that, we last year were involved into Shanghai ranking as one of the top 150 in the world in terms of sports science. And actually, we were also number 1 as a private university in Spain, something that really made us proud. So this is something that we really are proud of and that you guys consider. Facilities is the last topic I wanted to talk to you about. If we always talk about the importance of sports, to have a great environment where you will develop those skills is very important. We do have different labs with the latest technology. We do have a soccer field. We do have swimming pool. We have even a beach volleyball facility, which is not common in Spain. So if you really like sport and you really like to be involved into the athlete development or strength and conditioning development, definitely I will advise you to do physical activity and sport science, the bachelor degree with us. Thank you very much. from my side, that was all. I hope it was informative, and I'll be open for any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Bonal. Prior to handing the microphone over to our professors of social sciences and communication, please sit back and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our campus life and culture. The next professor to speak this evening is live with us here on campus will be Dr. Hannah Deyes, the head of our Global Bachelor's degree in International Business. Dr. Deyes, would you please make your way to the stage?
Thank you very much, Alan. Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's meeting. We hope to help you with all your doubts and mainly to help you in the choice of your careers, something so important in one's life. I'm Yolanda Frede, responsible for the International Business degree and also a professor and researcher at the university. Also, I'm also Spanish. I was born in Brazil, and 15 years ago, like you, I was looking for an international experience. From a personal point of view, I have to tell you that there is nothing that I know of that develops certain skills more, even in the corporate world, than an international experience. It's something truly unique, and we have the power to, by that alone, make you personally stronger and therefore much more competitive for a professional standpoint. Before I explain the International Business degree, I would like, albeit briefly, to highlight how good is that to live and be in Spain, in Madrid, and the Universidad Europea. Spain and Madrid are the best place to be. They are safe, well communicated, beautiful, full of cultural life, with a spectacular gastronomy and with lights, lots of lights. Our campus is a reflection of all that is Madrid and Spain. It's beautiful, it's the middle of the nature, it's safe, it has regular transportation, it eats very well, it's cosmopolitan, and it also has light, lots of lights, even in the winter. As the exterior is very important, but it's not everything, mainly when we are in the educational field. Our university manages to gather professors with academic background, 70% have a PhD, but also with enough practical knowledge of the labor marketing. Having said that, I think it's the time to focus on our international business degree. As we all know, the world we live in The world we live in is becoming more and more globalized. Every day, an infinite number of international businesses are carried out, which require the protagonists to be prepared in areas as diverse as mathematics, statistics, economics, law, or diplomacy. Our degree is designed to prepare these international business agents, and this is exactly what it consists of. A degree designed hand in hand with some of the most prestigious institutions and companies in international trade. Our program aims to transform our students into excellent professionals capable of handling any type of business, whatever its stage, whatever it's the country, and whatever the socioeconomic situation. We are committed to the cutting-edge, market-focused curriculum and experiential academic model, an international vision, and a mandatory internship. You will acquire the knowledge, techniques, skills, and behaviors necessary in the international business culture. Our degree is official, face-to-face, lasts 4 years, and is all entirely in English. Languages are very important in international business, so our students can choose to study Spanish, German, French, and Mandarin from the first year. The fourth year, one more language is added to the list. As part of our student plan, in the third or fourth year, our students can make 2 exchanges to universities abroad. We have agreements with universities in the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, or China. In addition to the entire Erasmus network, of course. Some universities that we work for are Bachelor, United States, for example, International Economics University in China, San Diego State University in USA, State University of New York at Oswego, of course, in the United States also. In the fourth year of our degree program, and with at least 50% of the credits approved, there are 2 courses that provide internships for our students in companies or institutions similar to those in which they will be able to develop their careers. There are 135 hours for practice for subject, a total for 2,070 hours for practice. Students can also, if they wish, and if the market values it, opt for volunteering or extracurricular internships. The profile of our international business graduate can be of the interest to the labor market in several ways, from multinational companies to national and multinational agencies and organizations. There is an infinite number of jobs, and as we said at the beginning, many languages are hard on our campus. When you are a foreign student, and I also say this in first person, it's very important that the university knows how to deal with it. The Universidad Europea, we are very used to it. Our students seem very much at ease. Thank you very much for your time. I remain at your disposal to clarify any doubts you may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. We will now hear from the head of our Global Bachelor's Degree in Business Administration, from Dr. Federico Soto, who is joining us here live on campus. Dr. Soto?
Okay, thank you very much, Alan, for your presentation. I'm very glad of being here in order to explain our prospective students a bit about our business administration degree. Well, if you are looking for an international program with a practical approach that provides you with the tools you need to have a successful professional career in business administration, if you have high goals and you pursue success and recognition in your professional life, creating your own company or working in any department of an organization from finance to marketing, we offer an international and innovative degree through which you will obtain the necessary knowledge and skills to be able not just to work, but to transform the companies of the future or create your own startup. You will study in a diverse environment with classmates from many nationalities with different cultures and backgrounds. The curriculum includes real connection to the business world gained through presentations from top managers, inside visits to leading companies, simulated environments, projects for real firms, and hands-on period in real organizations. Also, you will enjoy an exciting faculty life where we have special students clubs such as the Entrepreneurship Association and the Cryptocurrency Club. Additionally, studying the English version of our business administration degree, you will have the possibility of going part of your degree abroad. At this respect, there are over 30 agreements with international universities from 15 different countries. The Pôle Universitaire Léonard da Vinci in France, Vancouver Island University in Canada, University of California, Irvine in the United States. These are just a few of the institutions we have agreement with. We can furnish you with all the list of the universities we have agreements worldwide. Okay. So let me explain a bit about our academic model. We propose you 4 years of continuous improvement, thanks to our innovative learning system called challenge-based learning. It is a progressive learning system where as semester goes by, you will gain new and better skills and knowledge. In the first 2 courses, you will become familiar with the foundations of business. In this first stage, you will have direct talks with company managers. Also, you will visit different companies to see firsthand how leading companies innovate, develop, and market their products and services. Also, you will be able to make your first decisions as a manager in a simulated environment. We have various platforms with powerful software that will make you feel the same as an entrepreneur or a manager when running a real company. After this first part, in the second part of your degree, 3rd and 4th courses, you will go one step beyond. Guided by your teachers, you will face challenges posed by real companies where you will be able to develop and implement all the knowledge acquired in the classroom. Also, you will have a compulsory period of work in a department of a company. We have agreement with both national and international firms in different sectors, such as Accenture, KPMG, Antena 3, Bankinter, Repsol, Orange, where there are many. There you will be able to work in departments of your choice, from strategy consultants to finance, from communication to marketing. In summary, along 4 years, you will learn and practice skills you will need to have a successful career working in any department of a national or international company. This program has a contrasted and international recognition thanks to several quality awards, such as the Spanish ANECA and the USA Accreditation Council for Business School and Programs. This university was a pioneer in getting this approval. By the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Federico Soto. I teach strategy and business administration here in Universidad Europea de Madrid. And before becoming a teacher, I was the strategy planning manager of a company with over 15,000 employees, Iberia Airlines. And like me, many of your professors have both professional experience and passion for the subjects we teach. We also publish in scientific publications in the fields that we are experts. We will be glad to welcome you in our facilities and have a personal interview to explain all you can get from our experience at Universidad Europea. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Soto. We will now hear from the head of our Global Bachelor's degree in International Relations, from Dr. Ursula Scheiber. Dr. Scheiber is connecting this evening from her home. Dr. Scheiber, how are you?
Hello, thank you very much. I'm really doing fine, and I was looking forward now to my turn to present you the global degree in international relations. So welcome everybody from my side as well. And I wanted to start saying that maybe the global degree in international relations is really the most international degree at Universidad Europea. But of course, this is not a very objective perspective that I have. It's more representing my own interest and also my the honor that I feel to present this degree here this evening. But why can we really call it the most international one? I mean, international relations is dealing with the globalized world, with world politics. It's a very moving and changing, let's say, content that we learn about within this degree. But it's also so international at Universidad Europea because it brings together people from all different nations. And with these different nations, national backgrounds, of course, we can also find different cultural backgrounds, but also political backgrounds, maybe opinions, perspectives that all somehow find themselves together in this sharing, let's say, learning together during the international relations degree. So for me, teaching international relations with students in class from all over Europe, the Arabic countries, Latin American countries, it is really a very, how should I say, lively subject, and you find yourself also as a student within this within this environment, and that you can call even intercultural. And within this environment where you also have the chance to doing debates, discussions, and to also somehow practice what it is to have or to do international relations, international politics in theory. Yeah, so we can say that it is a degree where it is not only important to have this scientific theoretical knowledge, to gain this theoretical knowledge, but also to have these links to the world, to world politics. What is really outstanding is also that the international relations degree at Universidad Europea was one of the first degrees of international relations that emerged in Spain. And so Universidad Europea was somehow a pioneer also in that field. And from the very beginning on, it was part of the degree to have to bring together professionals from all different academic fields. So you might not only find the most linked academic field of political science within this degree, but also teachers coming from journalism and communication, coming from history, or from law. So you really gain a global vision that is not only perspective from a single discipline, but really a global, let's say, holistic vision. Also, as it was already mentioned in other degrees, also here in the global degree in international relations, you can find teachers that are linked to the professional world. So you have this internationality, not only within the, let's say, within the theoretical part, but also this link. The teachers themselves represent possible opportunities, career opportunities after the graduation. So, for example, myself, I was studying political science in Austria, and I remember very well that I really missed at that time this international, let's say, focus of my studies. And so after the PhD, I decided to work in the field of international development cooperation with several stays abroad in Eastern Africa and also Latin America. And now in my everyday life as a teacher, I really realize how important it is to link the theoretical knowledge with this practical and with their own experiences, because there it starts to really, the understanding of the world starts. And also later on, the students with these professional experiences of the teachers and the theoretical knowledge are able to move themselves in the professional world. Yeah, some facts about degree. Let's say it is a degree that lasts in total 4 years, and There is a compulsory international stay included, lasting 1 until 2 semesters. So the students, you as a student will get a possibility to study also in other university environments, to have also other, let's say, perspectives. And in total, the subjects that are part of the degree also reflect this, as I mentioned before, this variety of the teachers. Yeah? So you can find subjects that deal with geopolitics or geography even, but also with foreign policy and diplomacy. You have subjects that are coming from the part of law. You will learn about diplomatic law also. A main pillar is the communication for international relations, but also as part of political, let's say, negotiations. And then you will learn about international conflicts, historical ones or very current ones. As I said before, the degree is really lively and really up to date. And of course, also the learning or the knowledge about how the organizations and international institutions work that shaped world politics is also a very important part of that degree. So, for example, we have a model room called Model United Nations, where the students themselves can somehow practice or gain experiences in this room, where you can make debates and discussions, experiencing how it is to have an international competition or negotiation going on. So yeah, I would need much more time to really go into detail. It was just an overview of such I would say diverse degree, but also that gives you the possibility to live your own area of interests. And if you feel ready to study a really lively discipline, to participate, to include, to share your perspectives and opinions, but also to reflect on them and to progress, to learn from colleagues, from other students from all over the world with their different cultural and even political backgrounds. So then it is really your place to be. Then come and join us. And if you're also ready to somehow participate in this learning together, because it is a changing world and we're living in this changing world. So I'm looking forward to see you. I am looking forward to teach you in one of the classes of the Global Bachelor's degree in International Relations. And feel free to make some questions later on. I will be here and I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Dr. Scheiber. Moving on to our Faculty of STEAM, we will hear from Dr. Omar Martinez Lucci, the head of our bachelor's degree in Aerospace and Aircraft Engineering. Dr. Martinez Lucci is reaching us from the comfort of his home. After speaking about this degree, he will also discuss our bachelor's degree in Mechanical Engineering. Dr. Martinez, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you, Alan. So I'm going to talk about the aeronautical engineering bachelor degree. Okay. First of all, I want to talk to you that this bachelor degree is in 4 years. So there is the freshman. So it is a core of the engineering, including also the mathematics and some chemistry. All right. So, and then the second year, so and so more. So it is the core of the engineering, right? So you will learn a course that is relating to the engineering. So in the senior and junior and senior, so you will learn to the core of the. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is mechanical engineering. So okay. So I'm talking in aerospace. All right. Sorry. Okay. All right. So, and then senior engineers, so you will learn more for the aeronautical engineering, right? So for this bachelor, this is a mechanical engineering. So I'm talking in aerospace engineering. So is that one? Thank you. All right. Okay. And so as I was telling to you, so there's 4 years, right? So the bachelor degree in aerospace engineering, and we can see that we have some certifications, right? So from some different softwares like Cisco, CCNA, and SolidWorks, and another software that is using for the company that build or doing some maintenance for these aircrafts. Okay, so also the students learn the CATIA, the Fluent, and Nastran pattern, that is software that the company is using for the design, right? So for the design airplanes. So I just want you to talk about the Include Air Division. So the Include Air Divisions is open for all the students that want to apply the concept that learn in class in a real project, right? So in this January in 2002, so the university have launched the small Pico satellite, okay? That is what built and designed and built by the students. So you can see the picture on the top and the left up on the top corner, right? So you see these small satellites, right? So it is less than almost 5 centimeters, right? So if each side, and then you can see the rocket that is launched, right? So this satellite. So now this satellite is in orbit. So, and it transmits some communication to one ground stations. Okay, so now the students, so that already finished this project, but it is not finished and designing this satellite. So some students want to design a rocket, right? So a small rocket that is going to be launched, but for right in the atmosphere. So it is no outside the atmosphere, but the students the students are working on it. So I want to talk about also the top facility that we have. So we have the wind tunnel, so with the students can test their models, right? The airfoils, some small airplanes, so get all the characteristics of the airplanes, right? To get this information to design the real side of these airplanes, okay? And with, I already mentioned that in CATIA, Fluent, and Nastran, so the students can design these airplanes. So in building, using the fabrication in the Fab Lab, right? So if manufacturing these small models, right? So the manufacturing the models, and then testing in the wind tunnel, and then I already said that the students can so extrapolate this data to the real aircraft, right? So this is how it is the industry work before designing buildings, any airplanes, okay? Also, there's another machine that we have is the CNC. So it is a computational numerical control system, right? So that the student can manufacturing any work part, right? That is part of this is the airplanes, and then can be testing in the mechanical property lab, okay? So, and also there is a automotive lab and then robotic lab that the students can apply the concept that learn in class. Okay, so, and then I want to talk about the international student exchange. So we have some agreement with different universities. So Embry-Riddle, Coventry, and also we already have double degree with Hertfordshire and UK. We can see in the picture, so one student that it is an Embry-Riddle, so he has passed the last semester in Embry-Riddle, so for one semester for this student exchange, right? So in the other picture, so we can see for the students that already has been awarded, but the second place for one associations of students engineering, so that have awarded the project that they already work. Okay, so finally, I want to talk about the internship. Okay, so it is mandatory that the student has to do an internship so before graduated, and then they can choose for a different company, so such as Airbus, such as Iberia, so Aernova, and another company like Altran that is work together with Airbus or designing in airplanes, right? And also, if the students want to work in a space, so we have agreement with the European Space Agency. So some students has already did the internship in this agency. Okay, so and then I will move to talk about the bachelor degree in mechanical engineering. Sorry for the confusions. Okay, so the bachelor degree in mechanical engineering is part of the one big subject in engineering, right? So that is, there is another engineering that it is in this big field, such electronics and automations, business, or industrial technology. Okay, so the freshman and sophomore years so are common for these different specialty fields of study, right? So, and the mechanical engineering is taught completely in English. So, and the others, it is in Spanish. So, if you want to continue, or you choose, or you want to move from mechanical engineering to another specialty, so it must be you learn in Spanish, right? But you have been living in Spain for 2 years, so I think that you will be able to do this bachelor degree in Spanish, right? For the different subjects, right? And then I want to talk about the methodology for teaching this bachelor degree. So it is the project-based learning. So it is basically is learning by doing. So the concept that you learn in class, right? So it's applied in a real project, right? So in a real project, sometimes the professor are the professor so present the project, and in another cases the students they present what they want to do for the project. Okay, so it is open for any topic for the project, so it can be and it is doing by the students. Okay, so it's doing by the students, and we can see that the project, so it is to design some part of the or components of the formula student. So you can see the picture so in the top in the left top corner of this slide. So this is the formula students card, right? So and this formula students card so is compete with a different university around the world. Okay, so and they have to go to the Formula One circuit, a real one, so circuit in Silverstone and Montbello. So competing with a different university, I already said. So this is a good example that the students apply the concept that learn in the class. So they design the engines, part of the engines. So no, the engine, part of the engine. So we can see in the next picture, so that behind the students there is the engine test bench, so where the engine is testing after the student perform any modifications. Okay, so this is a real project, right? So this is a real project, okay? And the students also design, manufacturing, and testing. So this is what the real engineering is doing a day, right? So it's a real project. Okay, so and then I want to talk about the top facilities. Okay, there is an industry 4.0. So and then they have there is a new physics lab, and then the wind tunnels. Also, this Formula student car was testing improving the aerodynamics. So we know that the aerodynamics is drag resistance, is fuel consumption. So and then also the student has to testing the aerodynamic, improving the aerodynamic to reduce this fuel consumption. So summary again, so this is a real project. Okay, so this is a real project. So you're going to work with real project, and you will learn what the engineer is doing day by day. Okay. Also there is the Fab Lab, so the digital fabrication laboratory, that similar what the students of the aeronautical engineering bachelor degree, so design and manufacturing, also the students for mechanical engineering, so also design and building this part of this car. Okay, and then also they has, I already mentioned about they have the CNC and the automotive lab and robotic, so learning labs. Okay, so and finally the students has to mandatory to do some internship. So and we have some companies, so we have more than this company, so I bring this company to you. You can see that is a company like Siemens, Indra, Airbus, Altran, Defta, Endesa, as more company our students are in the internship. So, and some students after the internships are being hired by these big companies. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to me this presentation. So, and I'm willing to answer your questions at the end of these presentations.
Dr. Martinez Lucci, thank you so much for your time. The last professor to speak this evening will be Dr. Juanco Mateos, the head of our bachelor's degree in Fundamentals of Architecture. Professor Mateos is joining us this evening from his home. Dr. Mateos, how are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. Please take it away.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, could we go to the next or to the first image, please?
Dr. Mateos, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Because we cannot see you. We can hear you, but we cannot see you.
I don't know why. Any case, could you, if you share the screen with the first slide, that would work?
Yeah, so I think we're having a little bit of, there we go. Well, there we go. We can see the slide. Please take it away, Professor.
Okay. Yeah, as we want to talk about our architecture school and how our school is focused on understanding architecture as a powerful tool to transform and build our world. Next, please. Okay, we have our school structure in two different degrees. First, we have a bachelor degree in fundamentals architecture, and then we have a master's degree. Both of them are linked in the way they work, and at the same time, they take place in Villaviciosa in Madrid. Um, Next, please. Yeah, we've been working closely with RIBA from UK and NAB from States, and we have both accreditation. So our students are able to, after studying with us, traveling and working both in UK and the States with the same accreditations as a local student. Next, please. Okay, as I was saying at the beginning, our school is focused to understand architecture as a tool. So it's very important to understand that project is like, and design is the basic tool to be able to transform that reality. So that's why we're always calling a project-based school, PBS school. So the methodology is basically working in workshops and understanding that when we are dealing with the learning process, we are working in a very similar environment to the one we would find in a professional world. That takes place in our workshops and laboratories, where we always try to use from the very last tools, for example, robots and automation, and the very immediate tools at handmade drawings. Okay, all of our professors we are professionals. I'm not actually talking from my home. I think you're not seeing me, but anyway, I'm in my office, and we are all active professionals. And we have this important international approach. As I said before, we have this RIBA and NAB accreditation for those two institutions. And as our courses are always linked with different international schools, for example, San Diego New School, Bartlett School in London, University of Bath, etc. Next, please. Yes, and as I was saying, our workshop structure is very important to understand how the environment works with different students, different teachers working closely, and helping to find and build your personal agenda. It's not only about us telling you what to do and what to think. It's basically helping you to learn to build your own personal agenda and position. Next, please. As I was saying, we try to build and to give you the tools to build this future with all the possible tools we know and we have. From these amazing robots, we work with Nagami, very close to our school, or from the very basic handmade drawing. So for us, it's very important to understand that the important issue is not the tool, but what we want to do with that tool. Okay, so I think that's important to understand. Next, please. For us, it's also very important to bring together professionals, researchers, teachers, and professors from all over the world. For example, this semester, Giancarlo Mazzanti is coming from Colombia and is teaching with us several workshops. If you enter in our Instagram profile at Master Arquitectura UM in Spanish, you can find quite a lot of information on what we are doing, what we've been doing, and what we are up to. Okay, I think it's an interesting place where you can understand a lot of the material we're producing and the focus we have. Next, please. And also, it's important to understand that we have to build that transformation we are talking about from very different scales. From the urban scale, where we should be able to focus on urban planning and how that layout affects our daily life and how that affects the way we live. Next, please. To an intermediate scale, where buildings are the spaces where we spend our time, so how those spaces are working inside and what's the relation between parts, pieces, and materials. Next, please. and also in the smaller scale, so even objects. So how we deal with the smaller elements that are helping us to be very sensible, and how we relate with the smaller elements of our environment. Next, please. As I was saying at the beginning, for us, it's very, very important to understand that in this case, we're seeing models, and these models, some of them have been 3D printed, others are like very manual. So again, those are tools to help you build that agenda and that personal position. Also, it's very important how you deal with those interests in each one of your personal backgrounds. Okay, so we have very wide background in our students. We have Spanish students, but we have students from all over the world. So for us, it's important to understand the richness of that and learning environment and how you could take advantage of it. Next, please. Okay, here you can find like a detailed list of subjects and years. As I said at the beginning, we have this double course structure, the course of the bachelor degree in fundamentals of architecture. You have 5 years there, and then you have 1 more year in a master's degree. When you finish that master's degree, you are totally habilitated as an architect, not only in Spain, but as I said at the beginning, also all around Europe. And of course, also in the same conditions as an American or English student would be in UK or the States. Next, please. I think that was the last one. Thank you. I don't know what happened with the camera. Sorry about that. Okay, but I hope you listened correctly. Thanks.
Thank you, professors. You really are what make our university distinguish itself. Thank you for your expertise and your time. Students, again, if you have any questions regarding these bachelor degrees, please hold those for the Q&A session. But prior to that, I would like to touch upon the admissions process. First, I would like to mention that the application window for this upcoming 2022-2023 academic year is currently open, and we encourage you all to participate. The first step will be to establish contact with one of our dedicated enrollment advisors, who will be your main point of contact throughout the admissions process, up until you register for classes. We will assign you an advisor that is a true expert in the degree of your choice, answering any questions you may have and providing you and your family a campus tour of our installations. Your advisor will give you access to your pre-student portal and send you your online admissions tests, which consist of, irrelevant of your degree, a professional skills and abilities test, which will evaluate, for example, how you work in group settings, how you make decisions, your level of empathy, self-motivation. Secondly, you will complete a written interview comprised of 5 questions in which you will need to respond as honestly and detailed as possible. Lastly, all students, regardless of any previous official language certificates they may have, will need to take a Spanish level exam and an English level exam. These are 50 minutes in duration and contain a grammar, listening, and reading section. Kindly note that if your maternal language is either Spanish or English, you will not need to take that specific test. Upon completing your online admissions tests, our selection committee, comprised of 3 to 4 professors of your bachelor's degree, will evaluate the results, and within about 48 hours, relay your admission status to your advisor, who will be in touch with you as soon as possible. In the event you are admitted to the Universidad Europea and we are the right fit for you, your next step will be to reserve your place within your pre-student portal. This will guarantee your spot within your bachelor's degree, allow you to proceed forward with the registration process, and of course, provide you that peace of mind knowing you are officially off to university in the fall. Please note that our bachelor's degree in dentistry does have a unique selection process that one of our enrollment advisors would be happy to explain in our Q&A session. Of course, for any general questions about the admissions process, we will answer those in this upcoming session. But prior to that, I would like to touch briefly upon the experience of living in Madrid. particularly for those interested students that will be relocating from another country. As a foreigner myself, originally from Memphis, Tennessee in the United States of America, I've had the fortune of living in Spain for 6 years and Madrid for 5 of those. Madrid is Spain's main cultural and business hub, abundant in world-class museums, sports venues, awe-inspiring architecture and monuments, parks and green spaces, and houses the headquarters of countless multinational companies and institutions. Madrid is an extremely welcoming city and boasts a street life, vibrancy, hospitality, and overall quality of life like none other. Located in the geographic center of the nation, Madrid is well connected by air and rail to all corners of Spain and other major European cities. Thanks to our high-speed train system called AVE, we are just 2.5 hours from Barcelona and Sevilla and under 2 hours from Valencia. Not to mention, the day trip excursions from Madrid are endless. For those nature enthusiasts, Madrid is just a 45-minute drive from the Sierra de Guadarrama, a mountain range that bisects the Iberian Peninsula. And for those history buffs, we are an hour's drive away from the medieval towns of Toledo, Segovia, and Avila. Madrid has a mild, dry, and pleasant climate year-round, although it is quite chilly from December to February, and hot, and I mean hot, in the months of July and August. As far as living situations are concerned, we offer 2 on-campus student dormitories that are managed by a company called Xior, that's X-I-O-R. Additionally, there are ample student residences within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón, just a few minutes from campus by bus. But for those of you wishing to live in the middle of the hustle and bustle and the heart of downtown Madrid, the campus is also well connected by public transport. For example, the commute from Madrid's Príncipe Pío station to our campus takes approximately 30 minutes. And aside from public transport, our university provides our own transportation with buses departing from Moncloa and Plaza de Castilla 6 times a day. Regarding health insurance, there are various options at your disposal. However, according to their prices, coverage, and overall quality of doctors and healthcare staff, we recommend Nueva Mutua Sanitaria, whose contact information you will find on the screen. Lastly, regarding your student visa, we will provide you the documentation needed to file for your visa through the Spanish consulate or embassy in your home country, once you have confirmed your place and paid your reservation fee for the upcoming academic year. We hope you enjoy this short video prior to opening the floor for questions and answers.
My name is Cassandra Thomason. I am studying international relations here in Madrid at Universidad Europea.
My name is Yutong Han, and I'm studying sports science now.
I'm Jorge Ruiz. I'm studying computer science and business administration here in Universidad Europea.
My name is Anna, and I'm studying fundamentals of architecture, 85% in English.
My name is Lucas Berndl. I study the MBA Sports Management at the Real Madrid Graduate School.
I chose Universidad Europea because it's known for being very international.
They had a program that was very specific for what I wanted.
Because of its project-based educational system.
And here we are all the time doing projects, doing practical things, and not just the theory.
My integration to the school was really good because the staff of the university is very helpful. They help whenever they can.
Most of the professors and the students are also very friendly and kind.
All the professors are willing to help you, and if you have any doubts, they assist you.
We have small classes, which gives you a tighter bond with them.
They are like a little family that you can have in here.
Madrid is a very international city, but also still very, very traditional.
It's a very warm environment here in Spain. People are very friendly.
I'm relaxed here.
Madrid is just a great city.
3 words for Universidad Europea is full of energy, technology, and awesome.
Friendly, professional, and active.
It's innovative, it's creative, and it's really inclusive.
Excellence, practice, and professionalism.
International, very innovative, and trustworthy.
The school provides a unique opportunity to study in such a professional atmosphere and so close to the actual practice.
It's an amazing place to be, an amazing place to study.
It's very easy to be here, to enjoy the studies, to enjoy life, to make friends, and to network as well.
I would recommend Universidad Europea specifically to international students because they give us the opportunities and the tools we need to grow.
We will now open the floor for Q&A. Within the chat, you are free to ask us any questions you may have about each degree, the admissions process, our campus, living in Spain, etc. My colleagues and our professors will answer each in order of reception. As you are aware, some of our professors and colleagues are here with us on campus, while others will answer virtually from home. Professors that are here with us on campus this evening, would you please make your way to the stage? Of course, if there are any lingering questions after this presentation, after this event, we will provide the email addresses for certain academic advisors, enrollment advisors to answer any questions you may have later on. So this is our first question for my colleague Gerardo. What are the semester fees for the Bachelor International Studies? And of course, Gerardo and all of our professors and all of our colleagues will answer within the live chat. The next question is for Yolanda. Hi, I have several questions in dentistry. The English path. Is the Universidad Europea de Madrid diploma recognized around the world? May I work in North or South America once I have graduated? This would be better for my colleague Saeed, who is actually an enrollment advisor. The next question, this one would be for you, Yolanda. How many students are there in the dentistry classes? How many students, more or less, are in the dentistry classes, both the academic theoretical classes and the practical classes?
Well, in the theoretical part, there are 40 students per class. However, in the practices, the average is less. Now I'm not sure, but I guess that in the practices, in the preclinical practices, there are 12 students per professor, and in the clinic in Madrid, the average is even less.
Perfect, thank you.
If they want the specific data, we can provide it.
Of course, of course. And again, we will show you a screen that has all of the contact information. The next question is for my colleague Saeed. Are the reservation fees deducted from the first year tuition fees? Are the reservation fees deducted from the first year of tuition fees? Next question is also for my colleague Saeed. Are the tuition fees the same during the 5 years of dentistry? Are the tuition fees the same during the 5 years of dentistry? Next question is for my colleague David. For completely English courses, which level of Spanish do I need? This next question is for Professor Mateos, our professor of architecture. The question is this: architecture, 85% is taught in Spanish. From which year do Spanish lessons start? We have another question from my colleague David. Part of the entry tests include a Spanish test. For a completely English course, what level is required? We have an update to this question. Sorry, I meant, when do you inform a student if they are accepted? Do you have to wait until all of their high school exams are completed, which in France would not be until July? And this is another question for my colleague David. What is the final day of application? Here's a question for Yolanda, for Dr. Frede. Are there international agreements for internship and dentistry? Are there international agreements for internships in dentistry? I guess the question is, could you do your internships outside of Spain?
Yes, but I think it's better for the international department to explain to which country and in which year, because there's going to be some changes for the next year. So I think it's better for them to confirm it. But yes, we have international agreements.
Perfect, thank you. And this is a question for Dr. Bonal. Is there a golf club or a golf course nearby? Is there a golf course or a golf club nearby our campus here in Villa Viciosa de Odon?
Yes, we actually have in third grade a model which is golf club management, and we are partners of one of the best clubs in Madrid area. So yeah, definitely yes.
Wonderful. So it looks like we are starting to kind of wrap up our Q&A session. If there are any last minute questions, please, this is your final opportunity before we move on to the closing ceremony. But lastly, here we go. We have another question for Yolanda. What equipment should I buy for my dentistry degree?
Yes. Well, in dentistry, there is there is several material that is needed for the different practices. The professors at the beginning of the year, they share a list with the students with the materials required and also different brands. So it depends on the year, and also the student, it's allowed to choose among different brands. So that is information that the professors of each student inform the students at the beginning of the year.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Frede. And these next two questions are for my colleague David, who is on our international team. Are there any scholarships for international students? Next question for David. Do you host Erasmus year for international students? Wonderful. And this next question is for Dr. Mateos, Dr. Juanco Mateos. I couldn't find online the degree in Ingeniería de las Tecnologías Industriales. Does the university still offer this degree?
Sorry, Industriales is not about architecture. Andrés Abasolo, I don't know if that's our issue.
No, it belongs to another field, in the field of engineering, but we don't offer it anymore.
Looks like we have another question that is coming in. I believe that is all for now. So again, we will show a screen briefly in which you will be able to see all of the contact information for our dedicated enrollment advisors. So before we go into the closing statement, I would like to just hear just a brief phrase from each of you. Why do you believe that the students should study here at our university, at the Universidad Europea de Madrid, here in Villa Viciosa de Odon?
We have a lot of energy in this university. I think it's important to study. Help. We help all students all time, and we are happy here, really happy, professors and students.
It's true. It's true. I would have to agree that we can talk and go on and on about the agreements and the installations, but it really is the people here that make this place truly special, the energy and the happiness that we really try to foment. Thank you so much. Professor?
Okay, I think that our students value quite positively the teaching methodology because it's very practical. They have said it before. I think that they learn by doing. They don't have to study too much, but they have to do too much. So they like and they enjoy coming to the class and participating in the projects because this is the way how they develop the skills, the knowledge, and not even realizing that they are learning, but they do. So when the exam comes, they have a lot of background, a lot of experience, and it's something easy for them to get to that point. It's not something that, of course, it's nervous, but not so much. We are now in exams, but most of them know they are confident they are going to pass because they have been working throughout the semester. So I think this is one positive thing, how we learn, how they learn. And also the teachers that are mixing the professional part with the theoretical part. So this is something very practical for the students as well. And the facilities. I think that we have top facilities here. I enjoy coming every day to the university just by enjoying this environment. So these two things I think that are critical and that are very positive.
Absolutely. Our emphasis on project-based learning as well as our installations are two other extremely strong pillars of our university. Lastly, Dr. Frede.
I think my colleagues summarized really well the main highlights of this degree. We have professors that are great, they are great professionals. In addition, most of our dentistry professors, they work on the clinical practice. So the degree is really focused on that daily life of the dentist. We have a theoretical part, but also is really focused on the clinic, the patient, and all our daily life in the clinic. And also the facilities are great. We have great laboratories, and I think the environment is really positive.
Absolutely. And Dr. Frede, while I have your attention, we do have a few last questions that have come through. There are two for you. What happens if I fail one year an exam? What happens if I fail an exam 1 year?
It depends. There are certain requirements to pass 1 year to another, but it depends on the year and it depends on the subject. So, for example, there's certain requirements to pass to the fourth year and go to the clinic, and also in the last year. There must be a number of subjects to be passed in order to access to the clinic.
Thank you so much. And the next question for you, the last question for you is, what are the main nationalities in the dentistry, bachelor's degree in dentistry in English?
Well, it's amazing the high number of nationalities that we have in dentistry. We have people from European countries, Italy, France, UK, a lot of students, but also we have students from America, Canada, and people from Africa, Madagascar, people from Oceania. So it's really interesting the number of nationalities we have in the degree.
Absolutely. Walking around this campus really does kind of give you the impression that you are in the middle of the UN. There are nationalities from all over the world. Great, so we do have two last questions. This one is for our colleague Andres. Where can the students go for their Erasmus year in architecture? Where can the students go for their Erasmus year in architecture?
Well, that's a very good question. As you all know, architecture is not a local profession, it's an international profession. And well, focusing on the degree we offer at UEM, I would say our main destinations in architecture would be, if we think about the States, a new School of Architecture and Design in San Diego. And then focusing in Europe, I would suggest University of Bath in the UK. And my favorite one would be definitely the Technical University at Delft in Holland, which is one of the highest ranked schools of architecture in the world. Of course, we have more degrees, more Erasmus programs, but I would say those would be the most outstanding.
Thank you so much, Andres. This question is for David. What is the cost of on-campus student housing? Of course, David will answer that question within the live chat. And this next question is for our colleague Omar. What are the differences between the degrees of Ingeniería de las Tecnologías Industriales and Ingeniería en Sistemas Industriales?
I think it is a sound confused, so I think it's a difference. So it is engineering, so it is system engineering. So it's involved a different engineering program. So it's the different subject that the industrial engineering, for industrial engineering. Okay, so I don't know if I'm clear with that. So this involves different fields of the engineering, industrial engineering. It's not the organization of in industry, but it's the fields that in industry needs, right, to engineering, right, for engineering.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Professor. This is a question for our colleague David on the international team. What kind of requirements do you ask in dentistry for an international baccalaureate students in the United Kingdom? What kind of requirements do you ask in dentistry for IB students in the UK? And David, thank you so much for answering that question within our live chat. Are there any other further questions? Going once, going twice. Wonderful. Okay, well, that will conclude our Q&A session. Again, we will show a slide with all of the contact information for you to get in touch with us after this. There is your slide with all of the contact information, the email addresses. Well, in closure, thank you so much, students, for your questions, and thank you to all of our professors and colleagues for your detailed answers. Students attending this event this evening, choosing a degree and a university is without doubt one of the most difficult decisions a young person has to make. Therefore, it is my recommendation to research in detail a wide range of universities, to study their 4 or 5-year curriculum, evaluate the professors and on-campus installations, take into account the internship offerings, and explore the various extracurricular activities at hand. Because those of us that are a bit older than you can all agree that your university years from 18 to 22 or 23 years old is perhaps one of the most exciting chapters in a person's life. So, if you envision yourself studying through project-based learning, gaining experience in a professional setting, participating in clubs and sports teams, and cultivating lifelong friendships with classmates from all around the world, perhaps the Universidad Europea de Madrid is the right fit for you. On behalf of the university, it has been an honor and a privilege to welcome you to our campus this evening virtually. I again want to thank all of our devoted professors, Drs. Frede, Martins, Bonal, Deyes, Soto, Scheiber, Mateos, and Martinez for sharing their time with us this evening so generously. Thank you to my team within the admissions department, David, Sara, Yaita, Jose, Virginia, Said, and Gerardo, as well as to the technicians and the production team for making this evening and making this event a reality. And of course, a special thank you to all of you interested students and families for your participation in the first open house event of 2022. Classes will start on September 22nd of this upcoming fall, and we do hope to see you all around campus. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Good evening, and buenas noches.